Hi. 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 Can we hear me? Oh, I'm sorry. 3 minutes later of me spilling my entire guts? Cool. I'm brand new. I'm actually a moron, and I apologize. Oh, let's start it from the top. Hey, guys. Hi, how are you? I apologize. Let's try this for the 3rd time. I thought I was muted in the, first, but now I really was the entire time. So sorry. It is Tuesday, January 28th, 2025, and I wanted to come on tonight only to discuss something that is not gonna be educational it's not an educational platform. I'm not reviewing testimony, um, and, like, I'm not freeing Karen by doing this stream, I'll tell you that right now. But sometimes if a Twitter beef overflows into the YouTube streets, and there are YouTube situations that have arisen. And, we have kind of a small community if you're a small creator, right? Like a lot of us share the same humans. And I have become very fond of the humans that we share. And there was a situation that occurred recently on, I guess it must have been Monday. But I watched no, it must have been Sunday because I watched it yesterday, and then I had a really bad day, and it really hurt my feelings. So I just wanted to give an opportunity just to give, like, what I have, right? Like, what how it has occurred, how all this shiitake has kind of unfolded, and this isn't to blame anybody, right? Like, this isn't like a blame game or, and I'm not gonna be able to get into whose beef is who, but I'm very a peripheral character, right? Like, I'm not a main character. I'm just a peripheral side character, and I feel like there has been things that have been attached to me that I'm not gonna allow to happen because that's not true, and I can't f I can't be quiet about it if people who in our small communities that we all share, maybe are seeing something else and then saying to themselves, which they did, they said, "Oh my gosh, not Kim," like, not Kim too, and I don't want anyone to feel that way about me, um, because that's not fair, and so anywho, yeah, just yesterday was really rough. I didn't think that it would be that rough for me because I didn't think that it was going to affect me as deeply as it kind of did. But so if you're unaware of the YouTube beef, the Twitter beef kind of, it is between two creators who I am multiple creators are in, but I was very friendly with, like, that I have just met and they have been online friends. And a full transparency, Miss Shorty, when I first got my YouTube, like, she helped me so much. I wouldn't have had a clue what I was doing without her. She helped me make my little corgi bum and blacked out, and I consider her somebody who is my friend. And then in around, like, November, around, like, a little bit before Thanksgiving, I got to meet OB through Jimmy because, like, I didn't know her before then, and then, I got to do a couple streams with her, and I thought that she was so funny, and I admired her humor, and, so I had some issues that are bigger than me, right, and not my place to discuss. However, there was a couple of things that kind of cross-pollinated, right? There was a man who was a very bad man, and he had kind of preyed on Miss Shorty, and then he, like, got exposed for a sting operation that was like a very bad way, okay? And I strongly and firmly have since day 1, since that information came out, and Miss Shorty had been broken up with this man, um, like, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," and I didn't think that that was cool, but I guess behind the scenes, there was kind of like this energy of, mistrust or distrust between the 2 creators. And then it kinda got peripheral into, Aussie Insider, who is another a person who I consider friendly with, and I have been on her show, and she has been nothing but lovely to me. And, then Jimmy kind of was in the periphery as well, and Jimmy is like my human. So, I was in a spot, and in that spot, I felt 100% compelled to not add flames to a fire because that's not my personality, it's not my jam, I'm not doing it. Credit to be had for OB and to Jimmy because it never was talked about, ever. Not one day was what was going on with them discussed with me. And then I ended up seeing a message, or not a message, it was a tweet from somebody that was talking trash about me, and Miss Shorty had liked that tweet or, like, commented on that tweet. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Wow." So I ended up reaching out to her privately in a DM, and I just said, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Miss Shorty, are we okay?" And she was not okay. And she was not okay with me initially. And she felt very upset at me and, like, that I hadn't reached out to her because she had been in this situation that she was dealing with, and she was very hurt by it, and I said, "I'm so sorry, I don't ever wanna hurt you." I said, "I really am very confused, and I don't know the details because 'cause I'm not, like, seeing a lot of it, and I don't want anyone to be hurting." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Like, I think that was a good conversation. And then, that was the end of that, and I was like, I'm not here to hurt you, I don't talk about you negatively ever." Like, I don't wanna do that. And I hope that she would like, I hoped that she would know that, like, I wouldn't do that to her anyway. Same with OB, she never ever mentioned it to me, so I wasn't knowing kind of what was going on that end either. But after this, kind of things did not get better, which I had hoped and was literally hoping that once this man had been exposed, I go, "Guys, this is going to fix itself. Like, the girls won't have issues with each other because there was somebody who was potentially orchestrating, manipulating, and everything." And I said, naively, I'm thinking to myself, this is not the girls. They didn't have a problem in my brain. I was like, this guy was pulling the strings of it all. Um, but again, that's not my place to really have any say on that. And the online stuff got way more as it relates to on Twitter. So then last week or the week before, there was a YouTube, no, not a YouTube, an X space by Jen Altman and Jimmy, Auntie Deb. And in that, in this space, Jimmy got pissed, like pissed, was, went off, had a space, okay? And he was venting and he was going off. I called him right afterwards and I was like, "Hey babe, you okay?" And right after that, I said, "Hey, this, like, you said one thing that I was like, you shouldn't have said this." And it was regarding, he was just a poorly worded one thing that Jimmy said. And he goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I go, "You said AB." And he goes, "No, I didn't." And I go, "Yeah, you did." And I was like, and he said, "Oh my God, I clearly didn't mean that." And I was like, "No, I know." But I'm like, that is it can be looked at as like minimizing, right? And then all hell broke loose on the Twitter. It was one camp versus another. And again, all of the people who were watching this and seeing kind of as what appeared for some people, their feelings were like, this has been a big deal and this has been encompassing everything. But for the regular folk who weren't seeing it, it ramped right up. And it was like, okay, now we are in a very hostile environment. And I I tried to navigate it the best way that I knew how. And I tried to navigate it as somebody who was fair and who looked at who looked and said, "Well, that's not right." And I'm calling balls and strikes on everybody. Like I'm not in it, so I'm far enough out to say this is problematic. That's not right. That's not right. I'm not letting anybody that I'm seeing if somebody's getting, like, absolutely piled on shit on, hey, I'm trying to do the best that I can, and then it turns on me, right? Um, and, like, that sucked. So, there was a stream that Shorty did on Sunday, and it was just really sad to see because it's not her really saying anything. But it's, like, people that I know or, like, people that I thought I knew that were in our community that think, like, I'm a very bad person or think that I'm like, mention Keno, like, say that I shouldn't have, like, my dog or that, like, my dog should have been adopted out or, like, just, like, don't like, what the frig? Like, I know you guys. I know you. Or you used to come to a place that I tried to make a little space for us here. And, I just didn't understand, like, why she didn't correct it. Like, why wouldn't you say, like, "No, Kim to be fair, Kim didn't do that. To be fair, that didn't happen." And, it's just very disappointing to me, and I don't feel as though I deserve that at all. And I know, like, you get people that hate you, like, that's totally fine. If you're gonna be on the World Wide Web, people hate you. But to turn our people against me feels feels harsh. So there was like just I want to go through it because when there were people who specifically one of her moderators who had come for me and come for me and come for me, I responded on Twitter and it wasn't my best or my proudest moment, but that is after me being like reading 36 messages. Oh, it wasn't 36. That was an exaggeration. It was 20 on one of my things. And she had said something, which I'll show you, that just, like, triggered me, like, it triggered me badly, um, and I responded. So, like, "Yup, I'm an asshole for that, and I apologized to her for that." And she said, "Okay," or, like, "My apologies, I didn't see it," and I said, "I'm so sorry, that I had such a bitchy response." Um, but during this specific stream, they were also saying to me, like, that you people have no receipts. You don't ever say anything about it. You delete things. I don't delete anything. I stand by my word and I make mistakes. I'm just human. I'm not perfect. I've never asked anybody to be, and I'm definitely not. So, um this was a screenshot that said that and that was from Joseph that said, "Nurse Kim is complicit, petty." He was talking to petty paralegal and said that Keno needs to be adopted out. And said that petty there was mucho behind the scenes for her. She made some wildly vile posts to a number of the mods here. Unfortunately, Joseph, that's not true. I made a vile post to Michelle. And she tried to space from OB, but the reality is Nurse Kim is complicit and 100% Keno wants out. Nope. And then because the petty paralegal had asked, "Joe, you're mad at Kim too?" This, like, broke my heart, guys. Oh. And then this is the lady who hates me, and, the Michelle woman, she changed her name to Shorty's Alt, thank you, OSINT Queen Blobby, which is like I have no idea. It used to be Michelle, but Queen Blobby is the reference to OB. And it says, "I was an NK supporter. I bought memberships and had my own. Same with the Young Jerks and Shawnee OG and JFK. I have now canceled those memberships." Okay. And she said that yes, and now Auntie Deb's two-facedness has leaked onto Nurse Kim involvement because she believes his bullshit. Same with Jen Altman and Larry I Legend. Now they are all on the hate train. That was Joseph Keynes. And then this was from New Hampshire dude, 603. And he said he had asked if he was allowed back in the chat. And he said, "I wanted to tell you, oh gosh, I can't even read that. Oh, something about how great Shorty is because he made a mistake and had commented on something on mine. And he said that Shorty reached out to him, pulled him aside, did something, reached out to him personally and very professionally, and that she was very forgiving to him for commenting on something of mine. And I wanted to say that was kind of shocking for me to think that if you're not a friend of somebody or if you're angry with them, like, I don't really know how this shit is supposed to work because I just started doing this, but, like, I don't have a mods chat. I don't know if I'm supposed to have one. I've had Miss Shorty is, I think, still a mod on my channel. She was my first mod. I think she's an administrator. I had Miss Jess NB has been a mod since the beginning. I don't know how that is supposed to go, but I'm very sad to think if there are any creators, this isn't just to Miss Shorty, this isn't just to anybody. But if there is a concern that people that would like to watch me aren't allowed to be where you are, I find that weird. Like, people have the right to do what they wanna do. And they shouldn't just be, like, sent away because you think I'm bad, but I didn't do anything wrong. So to anybody who watches my channel or is in my chat, you are I hope that you know that, like, I don't think anything of you if you watch anybody, and that I think that that's a good thing for you to be at many, many places where you wanna be, and I would never want you to feel like you couldn't go somewhere even if you thought that which I don't have problems with anybody, but if I did, I would never want you to feel that way, that you couldn't be where you wanted to be, because you have the right to do that, and that's being a leader and a good person, is to just say, like, "You're good, like, do you, babe, like, have a blast, be where you wanna be." I wouldn't ever make somebody not feel welcome here. Even if my feelings are hurt, Joseph Kane, you broke my heart, like, literally with the dagger. I was like, Keno with Gingy, him and Gingy used to have freaking, like, in my mind, they would, like, gonna have a play date someday. So, um, I just also wanted to show, um, I'm gonna bring up my Twitter because if you're gonna show it, you gotta show it, right? So, here is me. And is this wait, where does okay, the replies, you find out where people are in the replies. Um, okay, can we'll have to listen to this. This is something. This was hard. This is I guess a Discord conversation that Miss Shorty had about me to her Discord people. I thought that Discord was for a video game, or it was a video game apparatus. I'm an actual idiot. I didn't know. I know that it lives in the computer, but I didn't know where it was. But this is if you have like a club with people. And um she's not happy with me in this. So this is what she had.
That she's been having some conversations with Kim offline in DMs, and that, just to inform her on what's been happening, and to, maybe help her see the light a little bit, and that, hopefully Kim would take a step back and calm down a little bit, that she'll be not so public about it, but that she would just, not be so easily fooled. And I said, well, I did the same. I had the same kind of conversations with Kim a couple of weeks ago. And it seemed kind of, hopeful, somewhat positive. And the very next day she doubled down, and that's when Jess NB Post put the thing in the...
Sorry, I did it again. I'm flustered. I didn't think that it was kind of positive. I thought that it was good. I thought we cleared the air, and again, I had reached out to her when I saw something, right? Like I saw something, I saw a post, and I was like, "Oh." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, let me reach out." And although she was pissed initially, I like, I just treated her like I always do, and like I do to all of my friends and everybody that I care about. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I would never want you to feel that way." And I thought it ended very well, and I thought that we didn't have a problem. But then she says that the next day that Miss Jess put something somewhere, and about like not being catty in the chat. And I don't know what that means. Okay. I have no idea because I haven't seen that, but I'm really sorry. Um, I apologize if that was put in there and it upset you, because I don't want you to be upset about that. And I didn't see it, or I didn't think that it was I didn't see it, but I don't want you to think that not being catty would have anything to do with you.
Comment at the start of Kim's next live saying catty behaviour will not be tolerated here, etc., or words to that effect. I didn't say it. And that very next night, I believe, can't remember the exact timeline, but Kim OB and Jimmy and perhaps Jen Altman, don't quote me. We're all on I think a Spaces together.
I don't know what the timeline of this is, but I know that I talked to Miss Shorty in January, like right before my birthday, and I've never done a space with Jimmy and OB and myself, and definitely not with Jen Altman. I did one of the Not Your Safe spaces when Jimmy had to leave. He was taking Uncle Frank somewhere, and I just filled in for the last couple of minutes, but we discussed like Turtle Boy, and there was no mention of this ever. And that was way before her and I talked.
So no, she doesn't want to. She's showing her true colours, and quite frankly, that's kind of what we're hoping for, isn't it? Like, not that we're pushing anybody to be antagonistic. I'm not.
So now that hurt my feelings, because I don't know what that means by my true colors, because I've always been myself. I've always been me. Good, bad, ugly, I'm me. And I'm definitely far from perfect. And I've never tried to be, and I've never claimed to be, and it's like almost like you want people to hate me, it felt like.
But I know that every time I speak truth, the way I speak it, it drives them into a frenzy, and they're getting more and more true colorsy every day, every hour. It's
So, okay, with that, I don't know what frenzy we're talking about, because I don't know. I don't know, because the only time, like I said, I've ever responded with like some vitriol or some gumption was after having like 20 messages from one of her mods that was just kicking Larry, just kicking him, kicking at OB. And this is all on my page. It's not like on their page. It was just on mine. And Miss Shorty herself will tell you that her Michelle is like her pit bull. She said it. Like she was like, she likes it. She likes to get down and dirty. And Michelle says that nothing affects her. Nothing has affected her. Well, I can't relate to that, because when people say like, certain things, I happen to respond. And I feel like I was pushed by Michelle, not by Miss Shorty, but by Michelle. I felt pushed. And like, for you to kind of for the mod to encourage it in her chat, or like say that all of like, oh, put up the tirade that Nurse Kim did against me. Well, that's not very fair, because all of it, if you were like, if you showed everything, it doesn't make it better. I said mean things, but I did apologize afterwards, and she said mean things too. This is about Officer John O'Keefe. And so I posted this today. I said I was deeply hurt yesterday. I finally fell asleep asking God to protect me from evil. I just said, every day the sun rises, we too have an opportunity to rise above. The bright light of the sun is the most powerful disinfectant to expose the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. A feud was brewing, and I, like many others, attempted to remain fair to all and not add vicious negativity. But after repeatedly being taunted and insulted by a group demanding receipts, I accept. I'm going live at 7 with all of the receipts. It's a tough life lesson. If anyone is willing to believe a person telling lies about you, then they were looking for a reason to hate you in the first place. The comments about Kino should have been adopted was a bridge too far and was hard to see. Using my name multiple times in order to deflect from another person's interpretation of music lyrics and artwork is manipulative. I'm blocked, so I can't reach out privately to you like I did 2 weeks ago. And even after being attacked, I responded with compassion and grace for her feelings. Since this has been publicly shared, I will publicly respond because in the end, the truth wins and will always set you free. And this says she's kind, but she is strong. And that is where many mistake her. They interpret her kindness for weakness and force her to show her strength. And then this was Joseph saying that I was complicit. And then when it came to, okay, this is what was said about me when it was about some lyrics that Miss Shorty had written.
This is the most extreme thing. She has threatened to cut people up. You have threatened to cut people up. Is what that says.
There's me being funny.
People.
This is I will cut a bitch is me being funny at the bottom of that. Like I don't care, mate. In my frustration, then like I'll cut a bitch is it was a Nurse Kim saying that I say everybody was anyway. Okay, I get it. That's like misconstrued. That's cool. It's wild.
So, like, I did say that. I do say that. And I completely take accountability and I don't mean it ever as a violent thing. I don't. Like, if I'm like, oh, it's a vernacular thing, and I totally understand that. But if somebody were to come to me after I said that or I put it in a song, I wouldn't say, well, everyone says it, so your feelings aren't valid, right? Like, how people interpret things is how they interpret it. And especially with music or imagery or whatever it is, like, art is in the eye of the beholder, right? So I just thought like it was weird that in that stream where you're talking about narcissists and flying monkeys and people that have treated you poorly, you weren't correcting anything that was said in a chat about me or standing up because you were reading all of them. And then when you did associate my name, it was like, oh, Kim is the one who said that who I got that saying from. And I just was like, okay, but like, I didn't write the song. Like, so I just felt like that was kind of dismissive of feelings of anybody to just be like, Kim had said that. And which, yes, I have. And I don't mean it in a negative way. And I hope that nobody is offended by me saying that. I apologize if I've hurt, like, if I somehow hurt Obi's feelings because I said that. And then somebody wrote, that's Nurse Kim's favorite saying. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if that's my favorite saying, but yes, I have. And then it was like hurting my feelings, like, again, because they were just asking if I was in on all of this. Like, is Nurse Kim in on all of this? And people were like, yeah. And then Law Nerd Amber, another one of the mods, is saying, I would like to show you proof. I will show you a receipt, then effing bring it. Okay, I've brought it. And Law Nerd Amber says they're probably dirty deleting a ton right now. I'm not. And I don't delete anything. And again, like, this is just stuff that's like asked all the time. Well, if you have receipts, bring it. If you have it, bring it. Oh, okay, sure. I will have to now, because if if it's going to be said, I have to defend myself. And then somebody said, Miss Shorty has done a lot for FKR, and it makes me sad that she's been bullied out. I enjoy all of her content, so I'm not going anywhere. And then, oh man, NK too, and like, a shocked face. And then Law Nerd Amber says, reactive abuse is when they taunt you and pick at you till you react, and then they act like you're the problem. And I feel, I don't know, guys, like I might be on another planet right now, but I feel like I was like, like I'm getting taunted, or I'm getting my ass handed to me by everyone on all sides. Everybody was like, Kim, fuck, like, God damn it, kind of agitated. But I was me, and I am always going to be true to myself and stand up for Aussie when there was issues with like copyright striking. I stood up because I don't want people doxing, and Kevin never even copyright strikes me. So I was like, I said, oh, I had not known who was the one who was copyright striking when I wrote it, but I was writing it in general. I understand that people can do whatever they want to do about it. But Jimmy was like, oh, I get what you're saying. Like KP doesn't copyright strike Will when Will does streams about her. Like, because it's fair use. People are allowed to criticize us. You're allowed to. It sucks, I know. But that is what it is. And if we have to have other streams that I have to say something back, then I have to. But that all falls within fair use. And that was me being fair with Aussie. And I just think that, and then Uncle Frank gets doxxed. And I'm like, this is wild. And then it's like, now we're going further than doxing. We're thinking to ourselves, like, oh, somebody's like wishing that she is taken off of a kidney donor list. Like, this is where we can't take this stuff back, guys. It's not just all fun and games, or it's not drama, or it's not, something that is small anymore. There are real life consequences. And I don't want anyone to have real life. Like, I don't want this to affect people. Even if you're a shithead, if you're a troll, I don't even like, I'm like, okay, well, you're a troll online. But especially not to somebody who is a good person and might not be on the right side of a beef. Like, this is where we're going. And a wise person once said to me, and I'll to credit to both, OB never asked me to choose a side, and Miss Shorty never asked me to choose a side. She just decided that what she needed to do was block me, which I get it. If I mean, I wish I could have talked to you about it. I wish we could have had a conversation about it. But OB never was like, oh, you need to choose, and you need to, pick me, and or I'm never going to be your friend. I was like, nobody was talking to me about it. And I know that it's like it's very important to the people who are going through it. It is a very big, important topic in your life. But for the peripheral people don't even mention it to us. There's so many people who are Switzerland, but also have no fucking idea what is going on. And they just see people that they like, or that they respect, or that are who they want to be in their chats. And they're like, what the fuck are we doing right now? Okay. Now what do I do? How do I make this go away? Okay. Now we'll keep going. No, we'll go back here. And then, oh my God, somebody said to me, you are an awful amoral ringleader in this circus. Deserved every day. Because oh my gosh, guys, let's get one laughing because I'm so tired. Kevin wrote to me because he can't help himself. He just can't. What did he say? He said, ask logical questions, consider all evidence, and pursue the truth without regard for how it benefits you personally. Anything else is self-delusion. And I go, oh my God, Kevin. I was like, it's not about you. I was like, can you not mess with me for just one day? We can resume our regular scheduled case opinion tweet off tomorrow. He did not think that was funny. Then let me go back here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, but oh no, that's still in that post. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I just want to be transparent and show them all because I don't attack anybody, but I do have to go through the last thing is I have to take my penance for what I said to the Michelle lady. Oh, and if anybody wants to donate for Karen's to the Karen Reed Defense Fund, the triplets' birthday is going to be, their party is going to be on Friday with Auntie Deb and Meredith. I'd like to be getting higgy with it. Oh, and then and then me and Larry Legend, we do our Wicked Pisses on, we had our second episode on Friday. Oh yeah, and then Grant accused Meredith of stealing from my birthday stream, or not from my birthday stream, from like misappropriating funds that all went to Karen's defense fund. You can't make it up, guys. This it never ends. Oh, here it is. Here's the tweet heard round the world. This was on January 23rd. And it says, you have more integrity. This is Michelle. This is one of Shorty's moderators. Said, you have more integrity in your little finger than Blobby, AD, Nurse AK, Nurse Kim, UF, Uncle Frank, Jen Altman, Abby, and the flying monkeys who have come at you. Fuck them and any other outsider who sticks their nose in. We have all the receipts and they have dirty deletes. The unclean will continue to hate. Let them. Oops. I'm sorry. That was it. That was it for me, babes. I was like, couldn't stuff it back, couldn't stuff it down like my childhood trauma, no matter how hard I tried. Okay? Couldn't do it. Was unable to. And I posted the following. Okay. So I said, hi, Michelle. Since you keep adding my name or initials, you clearly want my attention and a response. The repeated false narrative is a failed attempt to silence the vast majority of us outsiders who see right through the key players, the lies, and the manufactured drama. This is coming from everywhere, babes, at this point. I'm getting right hook. I'm getting slapped in the face everywhere. And I'm like, I see it. Okay. I said, water seeks its own level. And all the holy water in the Vatican couldn't cleanse you of your filth. Get a job, a life, or a hobby, you unclean gutter trollop, because miserable online twat is only a volunteer position and doesn't pay your past due bills. You look like you're drowning in unpaid credit card debt and are one missed payment from losing the double wide. Eat shit and bark at the moon. Okay, hon? Bye. That was assault. That was very, very rude. And I'm sorry that I said that. I meant it at the time because I was done. I had been done. So then Michelle taunts me back and says, LOL. You're certainly not the sweet darling of YouTube anymore. You've proven my point. Thank you. Oh. So I write back and I say, oh, Michelle, seek help. You attack, write 20 unhinged comments on my page, and I still offered kindness and asked you to explain your opinion without attacks and insults, but you keep going, seething like a rabid dog with a bone. I have every right to defend myself from your disgusting and puke face, morally bankrupt behavior. Hear this and truly understand. You're not the victim. You're the problem. The only thing worse than a manipulative, compulsive liar is a fake victim. And I put a clown. And she wrote, I've never said I was a victim ever. What comments on your page? So then I show and I go, receipts below. And here are the receipts, my friend. This was online 101. I said, we don't dox people. We don't copyright strike. We stand firm on our principle, and if needed, respond accordingly. Michelle writes back, fuck off, Larry. You were never involved. You have no dog in this. Your involvement is purely fuel to a fire to showcase their twisting of the truth. Everyone needs to go to their own camps, follow who they want, and stop trying to drag this up, blaming the Aussies. So I wrote back before this is all documented before the gutter trollop response. And I said, hey, Michelle, please don't attack Larry. He is not on anyone's team except mine. We play for the Celtics, and he helps me slay anti-KR trolls when they dox me and attack me relentlessly for months. I said, he's not in any camp, and he has watched what has publicly transpired on X for a long time. He has been very respectful of Miss Shorty and her trauma from the pirate pedo. He also respects OB and her assault trauma. Like so many not, quote, involved, he tried to remain Switzerland. To suggest people should not have an opinion on a very public feud which has taken place 100% online does not bode well for your argument, in my opinion. If people don't agree with your opinion, maybe try to explain what you believe with the truth and facts versus demeaning others. Then she wrote, find out what, wanker. Go suck Blobby's dick, you fool. And then she said, maybe you should butt out. You've muscled your way into this when you were never evolved. You're another blobby patsy blindly following her hate. Tell her to put back up the streams where she is doing a 4-hour hate rant and others. Then you all can decide. And then just saying about the Aussies, that was just what I put up for the receipts for her, which was all, again, this is all on a strand, like a string, whatever, a thread on my Twitter. And so now watch this though. Oh, wait. Wait, how do I see she had said she was sorry and it must be here maybe. Okay. Michelle Smith says, apologies. I didn't realize I was replying to Larry on your thread and I didn't see your first message where I was kind because I removed myself from the convo. And I write back to her, thank you for owning it. I apologize for the bitchy response post. I just had taken enough and thought it was low to call me unclean, like hateful and liar when I've only tried to bring the temperature down and have defended principles for all, not just who I'm friends with. And that is I atone for that, but like for her to try to say that in a stream of like, show this, bring up this information on Nurse Kim, like, that's what I did. That's what I did to you, that I've lost like your respect, and I've lost people who used to come to my channel and that they had a place here if they wanted one. And I feel like it feels to me, I feel like it's targeted poisoning of like, you can't go near Kim, like that because I am friends with Jimmy, or because I believe that OB is funny. But I still talk to Aussie. I talked to Aussie today. She understands that she said she doesn't agree with what was said on that stream by people. But she agrees that that Miss Shorty has a right to be upset and angry. And I totally understand if you're angry at me, but I wish that there could have just been an opportunity to have a discussion, instead of having to make things so public, because it doesn't just affect you or me. We have communities here, you know? And then I wrote to myself, I don't know what I wrote to myself. Oh. No, I don't know what I was doing there. That was about the copyright striking, when I was just sticking up for principled stuff, right? Like that's just what we all do. And listen, again, babes, I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I make mistakes. I don't I don't pretend to be anything, because I couldn't do it if I wanted to. But like, this is who I am. And I get it. Like, it's not for everyone. Oh, sorry. Let me remove that. Wait, can I add me? Oh, gee, where am I? Oh, okay. Like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm never gonna be, and that's okay. But I don't want anyone hurting. I don't like to see OB hurting. I don't like to see Jimmy hurting. I don't like to see Shorty hurting. And I don't like to see Aussie hurting. And that's the truth. And I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted, and I'm not even I'm literally in another solar system. I just don't want to be lumped into a category of people that you think that, that I'm doing horrible, harassing things towards you. I'm not. That's not truthful. I don't support any kind of pirate pedos. Never have. Ever since it came out, I have loudly and strongly denounced it. I'm not the enemy here. And I just want to have it on the record. That's it. I just want this somewhere that everyone can see that I have 100% done what I could to be a good friend and to also not flame fires, like to make things bigger and to add vitriol. I'm just trying to lower the temp. And it's sad to me because it was like a couple months ago, all of you hung out. Like not IRL, but like on streams and enjoyed each other's company. I never even got to do a stream with all of you, but you all did streams together. Like if there's a way to get, and I know, who am I? Shut the fuck up. If there's a way to not be friends, not repair it as like we're going on each other's streams, but if there's a way to cease fire and to not involve our communities and to not have to perpetuate unkindness, because there's enough of it. There's so much of it that we deal with from fucking strangers. I don't think that I don't think we deserve it, any of us. Lover-Romy with cheese. Kimmy, you're the smartest and the prettiest. Don't ever forget that. I love you, Lover-Romy. Thank you, Megan Easton. You are loved. You are loved too, honey. And Kevin from Illinois, we all love you. I love you, Kevin. And my Maddie Wags, you are amazing and bring so much joy and love and information. You're the smartest and the prettiest literally ever. Stop it. Stop it. I'm getting my beer here, guys. This is too much. I'm like literally a cage of emotions. What is it? I'm in a glass cage of emotions. I am a nightmare. I am a nightmare and feeling things so like, I'm just feeling it so deeply to everybody, you know, like, oh. And Jessica says, I love you, Nurse Kim. Keep being you. Keep smiling. Thank you, Lovey. I'm trying. And Court has been a member for 3 months and said, proud member of your world for 3 months. This is wild. You're breaking my heart, Kim. I love you. I love you too. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It was kind of like more for like people that were cross-pollinating or like that had, you know, been that may have enjoyed being at my house or then like jumped over to another friend's house. And it's like, our houses are always open, I feel, or I want them to always be open. And Midi, can't say it, honey, Korean, Caloria. And I love you, Kimmy. You're such a great person. Thank you so much, Lovey. I appreciate you. Oh, and my Larry said, thank you so much, Larry. You said, you've done nothing wrong. You have been the best representation of what people should strive to be on the YouTube streets. Your character, your heart, and loviness is human and wondrous. Your humanity is unique on the internet. Okay. Okay, thank you. Leia. Ugh. I only pulled this comment up because I like to say Leia. Oh my gosh, I'm a nightmare. And OBOK said, yeah, what Larry said. You're a good one, Sweet Pea. Thank you, OBOK. OBOK. And Calamity Jade has been a member for 1 month and said, Nurse Kim is a bright light, and Larry said it best. Larry does say things nice. And my Cursey Nursey M said, we all know who you are, NK. Don't let them take your power. It seems that's what they want. Jealousy can be an ugly thing. We got you always, love. And see, like, that's it though. Like Cursey Nursey, I don't know, because I don't think it's jealousy on any of the ends. It just feels like a lot of anger. And I respect that your feelings, your emotions, what you're feeling. I respect it. I respect what Shorty's feeling. I don't take that away from her. She went through something shitty. Really shitty that no one should have to. I also respect OB. And her assault is something that she shouldn't have to discuss if she doesn't want to or didn't feel the need to explain herself. Like, these are traumas, different traumas, but fuck, man, we all live our own stories. And it's, in my opinion, I'm not here to judge any of them. I'm just here to be, maybe if you consider me a friend, somebody who could listen to you. That's it. And Clay's godmother, XO from Buffalo, said, I'm with you. No, we love you. I don't know if that is an eagle, but I'm hugging you right now. And I love you, Clay's godmother from Buffalo. Thank you very much. And Sandra Mayhew said, we've got your back, beautiful. Your kind heart is taking an unfair hit. You're honest and real. You're a giver, not a taker. Love and hugs. Thank you, Sandra. I very much appreciate that. And I'm so annoyed with myself that the water keeps happening. I have a lot of water in my eyes and it won't stop. And love a Romy with cheese. Thank you so much, Romy, giving 10 non-consensual Nurse Kim memberships. Who started non-consensual Nurse Kim memberships? Joseph Kane and Ginger. And that was heartbreaking. And Kevin from Illinois said, you're more beautiful than Cinderella. You smell like pine needles and have a face like sunshine. I'm getting a tattoo of that. Kevin, that's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me. Are we in love? Are we fucking? I don't know what's happening right now. Oh my God. Oh, I think you're trying to heal my trauma and it's working. Oh, and Lacey Ann says, never lose yourself trying to please others. Being an empath sucks sometimes. Her victim mentality is at a level of dangerous. I want to say that I don't blame anybody. I just want a little bit of accountability if something was wrong, right? Like I said, I'm sorry to Miss Michelle, the moderator. I said I was sorry to Shorty because she felt like that, I didn't reach out after the horrible situation happened with that man. Okay. And I was like, that sucks. That really sucks. And I'm sorry. I didn't know if you wanted to be spoken to or if you didn't, because some people handle their shit in a totally different way. I need people around me. I need you to bring me a casserole. And other people are like, don't talk to me. I need 6 months and an emotional sabbatical. But I can't know how to help you unless you let me know. And that's where I was like, that really sucks, because I did let you know when I thought something wrong, or I was like, are we good? Is there a problem here? And then we were able to clear that air. And that's not being fake. That's being me. That's very me, very consistent with how I operate. But there are lessons to be learned here, babes. And that is that as much as I want to be a neutral playing ground and to do whatever, it's like, I think that the lesson is that Twitter sucks. And that Twitter is the actual devil himself. And that's the playground. Because I wouldn't know anything and you wouldn't know anything if we weren't on the Twitter, but there's news there. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. But there is nothing that I can do other than say, this is what happened. This is how it happened. And this is what was said. And that's my TED Talk. And I just want anyone that if they want to come over and come to my house is here, you know, and that I will never tell you to not be a part of anybody's channel ever. You deserve, as people and as our people, to be free. Do you, babe? I don't want anyone to feel as though if like there is any interpersonal issues that it's not cool for you, you know? And with that being said, we've got to go over and watch Melanie Little because there's actually things that are freeing Karen right now. Okay? Ask me what it is. There was a new motion today, and it says that not a motion. It was an affidavit by Rick Green. And he says full chest that there is a 227 phone record. Google search. He said it. And he said it because he ran it through every program, including whose? Ian Whiffins. So now that I've felt my feelings, now that I've provided what I needed to provide, I am done. I will always pray that we get through this and that we will not have issues with one another because we are not each other's enemies. Love to you all. I love all of your faces, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, babes? Bye, guys.